Tracy, again, the starting pitching was fantastic today. Just what did you see from Eric, and kind of what kind of tone does this set for, the rest of the season when you can get three guys to go out on opening weekend and just pretty much dominate?
Well, he had his off-speed stuff working today, but just throwing strikes and competing aggressively in the zone. But like I said the other day, he's been pretty good in the inter squads up to this point. So he followed it up with a very solid performance. And that early in the season, to get through 5 innings or whatever, give yourself a chance to win. He did an excellent job of that.
Jeff.
When you were talking about kind of the blueprint of what you thought this team was going to be, this almost looks exactly like what you were talking about. I know you'd like to see some more hitting, but I don't know how it could have looked much better or much more alike what you thought you were going to see.
Yeah, from a pitching standpoint and the defense, that we had a couple funky plays in there today, but I thought, all in all, on the weekend, you pitch the baseball like that. That was a tough one on Friday, but still, outside of that one inning, I would say pretty much all the innings this weekend, we were at the top of the food chain there on the pitching and defense side of it. And as far as the hitting goes, we know some of those guys are going to hit, and that stuff kind of comes and goes. And Nate Baez is a good hitter, so we're not too worried about that, as is, some of the other guys that just probably maybe pressing a little bit opening weekend. But if you're going to be playing catch up a little bit, I'd much rather be on the offensive side of it. So the pitching and the defense definitely carried us this weekend.
Kevin.
Coach, all 3 runs today coming with 2 strikes, 2 outs with both Joe and Albury. What are you guys teaching in terms of philosophy when down in the count?
Yeah, you got to put, you try your best to move the baseball, put the ball in play. If you put the ball in play, you got to make the defense work. And those guys did a good job of cutting down on the swing a little bit and trying to move the ball. And I think, both those were 2 out, the 2 out RBI, or 3 2 out RBI. So we were fortunate today. I thought we left a couple guys out there in some situations, in some situational hitting opportunities where we did advance guys that we're going to have to do a better job on. But first weekend, a lot of new guys, and so I think we'll be better next weekend.
Jacob.
Some optimism there, Scott.
I like that optimism.
What kind of impact do you think Sam Ferry has had, especially just his first weekend back, and to have the pitching be so solid? What do you think he brings to the table?
Well, a lot of new guys, and even on that staff, and with a lot of young guys that some of them didn't get in this weekend, but he's a steady presence. The guy's played. He's a good player. From our perspective, he's like an assistant coach on the team, and both he and Chima. I'd give him credit as well for last night. But to have those 2 guys behind the plate is a luxury for us, because they can help not only receiving the baseball and things like that, but the way that they just interact and calm that pitcher and give them confidence out there. So it was good to have him back. We've been trying, nursing him a little bit in the off season, because as he had the surgery last year, and bringing him back, he missed a lot of developmental time, not only with the knee, but also certainly the COVID situation we're in. So I think he did a fantastic job of managing the game, managing the pitching staff for not playing a lot of baseball in the last, couple of years.
Jacob.
For Cam to come back in and get outs the way he did after having a rough night on Friday, what does that do for a young guy's mentality and just kind of being able to move on from a tough game?
Yeah, that'd be anybody's mentality. You struggle like that, and those guys are competitive. They're all about the team. There's nobody that felt worse after Friday than Cam, because he didn't want to let his teammates down, obviously. So, but in that role, if you're going to pitch high leverage innings, you got to have a short memory and be ready to take the baseball again and go out and be aggressive. And there was no hesitation on our part, no hesitation on his part to get back out there and reframe that inning of Friday night. So that was good to get him out there. I thought he did a great job today.
Jeff.
When you said Boyd out there, was that kind of the plan to just have him pitch to a few people there, or what was kind of the thinking of taking him out that quick?
Well, we're doing some things. We're managing some things with him on the, the injury piece of it. So we're just trying, we're trying to be careful with him. And so, yeah, the plan was to give him an inning today and keep him around 15 to 20 pitches. I think he threw 14. So that was the rationale behind that.
Jacob,
Is there kind of a timetable on, what's going on with Boyd and you don't know anything yet?
No, we don't know enough yet. We're still trying to determine, exactly kind of what's going on, but probably more info to follow when we have more information.
Jacob,
Last night we kind of talked about the impact of being able to have Lampy 9 and Swift 1. And again, today it looked like it kind of paid off a little bit. What is it that you like about the way that this lineup was constructed, and why did you choose to go back to it after where it went last night?
Well, I like, you put those speed guys all kind of back to back. And, the thought on that obviously is guys that maybe struggled a little bit at 3 and 4 this weekend aren't going to struggle there the entire season. And all of those guys can create difficulties on the defense when they're on the bases, but they can also score on a ball in the gap, which we think we're going to get. We've talked about this numerous times on these things, that I still think we're going to score runs, albeit probably going to be different than we had it, than we did it last year with a bunch of home runs. We're still going to have guys that are going to pop one out, but I think it's more going to be on the execution on the bases, the good situational hitting, and going to have to stick in, like every team, got to stick in the timely hit.
How do you kind of go about, re-preaching the situational hitting? Like, what things do you think you need to see more of after one full weekend of watching the hitters go?
Advancing runners, we've struggled a little bit this weekend. Runner at third base, less than 2 outs. We just got to relax and, trust that and make that happen. But, quite honestly, we didn't have a ton of opportunities, a ton of things to really look at either from an offensive standpoint, because we didn't really have a lot of base runners. But that's just something as we progress, we just got to make sure. And we've done a really, really good job up to this point of buying into, we're a different team offensively, but we can still be a very good team offensively, but it takes everybody buying in and doing their job on the situational hitting components of the game.